Welcome back to Overtime Heroics. I'm Mason Shatwell, and joining me today is the future Cage Warriors Bantamweight champion, Nathan Fletcher. How are you doing, Nathan?
I'm very good, mate. All better after hearing you say that. Thank you very much. Very kind of you.
100%. It's been a while since we've done one of these. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, when was the last one now? Was it
April. I
after,
think it was before the
was it
Bowler.
April? Yeah. Right, yeah. So it's been some time. Yeah, I'm doing very good. Thank you, though. How are you?
I'm doing perfect, mate. Before we talk about your upcoming fight, I wanted to talk about the Bowler fight because I remember a couple of weeks before I asked you, is there a fight? And you told me that you wanted the Bowler fight, and you seemed very confident and likely. So how confident was you going into that bout?
Yeah, I'm very confident, to be honest. I'm very confident going into all my fights because I know how well I prepare and I know how good I am. So I'm confident going in there against anyone. But I was happy to fight a sort of European like MMA legend like Brian. He's been around the scene for a while. He's had a lot of Cage Warriors fights. He's got a good name, and I knew it'd be a good name on my record to beat him. So I was made up when Cage Warriors put that fight together, and yeah, I knew what I was going to go in there and do, and that's exactly what I did. So it's all
Yeah.
good. Worked out well.
100%. It was a great win, obviously, but Brian had a win over your teammate, Leon Gittins. Did that play any factor at all, knowing that he'd have a win over your teammate?
No, not really. Me and Liam are very different styles for one, and secondly, Liam was putting it on him in that fight. Like, let's be honest, it was an early stoppage, wasn't it? Liam was close to finishing Brian, and then got clipped. Fair play to Brian, he clipped him with a good shot, but I think it was an early stoppage. But in terms of my preparation for Brian, that didn't really play too much into it, just because me and Liam are very, very different stylistically ourselves anyway. So I knew the way I was going to approach the fight with Brian was different to how Liam was going to approach it anyway. So it didn't really play too much into it, to be honest.
What was you expecting from Brian? Because it was a quick fight, and I knew he was capable of it, but I didn't know it was going to be over that quick. What was you expecting from him during the fight?
But I wasn't expecting him to come out and throw two body kicks straight away against the grappler. To be honest, that was a bit of a bad decision on his part because obviously as soon as I caught that kick, he threw one and I kind of stepped back out the way and then he threw another and I caught it and it was like a split second where I was like, have you really just thrown a body kick at me after the first one as well? I was like, nice one, mate. So took him down and obviously we're in my world then, aren't we? So I was able to just put my game on him and get the finish nice and quick. And I said actually to the cameras when I walked out, I said that's what happens when you don't have food poisoning. Because the fight beforehand against Martin Yoni, I was pretty fucked getting into the cage to be honest, because I obviously suffered with food poisoning and that the day of the fight. So going into that Boulan fight, I felt so much more energized and so much more just full and ready to go. So I was like, that's what happens when you don't have food poisoning. That's me at 100%. So yeah, I was made up with that fight though, made up with the outcome.
100%. I think from the Ballon fight, you can tell that was you fully fit because in the Matagoni fight, obviously you finished him in the end, but it wasn't all set sailing. But I think you can tell that with top notch Nathan Fletcher in the Ballon fight. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. That's what I can do. I know that's what I can do every time when I get in there. So that was just a short little snippet of the level I'm at now. And especially, you don't really see anyone do that to Brian Boulan. Do you know what I mean? Like, even the last guy to beat him, he got subbed by Ilya Taporia. And look what he's doing now. Do you know what I mean? He's in the UFC. He's just beat Ryan Hall. He's like 11-0, 12-0 undefeated. So that's the sort of the guys that are finishing Boulan the way I did, the likes of Ilya Taporia. And then you even got Chris Meyer, who's another like well-rounded, well-known UK MMA legend, and he even took 3 rounds to decision Boulan. So I think I showed my level in there that night, definitely.
Oh, 100%. Before we talk about your next fight, I feel like I've got to ask about Paddy and Molly, obviously. Your teammates and I'm sure good friends of yours. What was it like seeing both of them get the win this past couple of weeks?
Yeah, it was unreal. It's been crazy ever since, to be honest. Like I feel like we're all buzzing off just the fact that they've gone and gone. I can't imagine what they feel like, do you know what I mean? Because all of us in the gym are just absolutely buzzing for them and made up. It was kind of like a next gen takeover, that Vegas UFC card, wasn't it? Like they obviously both got the win, both got bonuses, and both blew up on social media even more. Paddy's has gone absolutely insane. So yeah, the gym's absolutely flying at the minute, and everyone's thriving off that energy that they went and got for us on last Saturday night. So made up.
Obviously, with Paddy's performance, I think it wasn't that everyone expected it, but I think everyone's got a high expectation of Paddy now. With just that comes with being a big name. But I wanted to talk about Molly's fight because I've seen people not miscredit her, but I think she was underrated in that fight just because she got hit with some punches, but she was throwing some bombs. What did you make of Molly's performance?
Yeah, unreal. That girl had the chinner. Do you know what I mean? I've seen Molly hit lads in the gym with those shots and they go down off them. Never mind. Do you know what I mean? The girl that she was fighting, she was tough as they come as well. But that got fight of the night. Do you know what I mean? What a fight that was. Molly was non-stop in her face the whole time. And if you look at it, really, like in terms of like physical attributes, that girl was well. She outweighed Molly in physical attributes. She was taller. She had a really long reach. She was sharp. 1-2s down the middle. Molly had to get in her face and make it a dogfight, and that's exactly what Molly can do. Though that's how she fights. Do you know what I mean? She's as game as they come. So I was made up and very proud of her performance, and I'm sure she's very proud of it as well. And obviously the UFC thought it was a good performance because they gave her a 50 G's bonus. So she's made up. I don't think she'll be too arsed if anyone's trying to discredit her now, like at all.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, Cage Warriors trilogy now coming up in what are we 3-4 weeks away? So not long at all. Obviously, yourself's fighting, also your teammate Liam's fighting. I seen that was announced as well, and also Adam. How are you all on the same card?
I think me and Adam are on Thursday together, and then Liam and I think Adam Cullen is fighting as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think his fight's been announced yet, but I think they're both on Friday night, so we'll have to wait and see with that one. But yeah, I know me and Adam Wilson are on Thursday.
I'm due to be speaking with Adam in a couple of days as well about his fight, but how's he looking leading it up to this? Because obviously he's not fought since that loss to Wesley Meyer, but last time I spoke to him, he's ready to get in there. How's he looking in training?
Yeah, he's looking sharp as fuck, to be honest. The whole team's looking ready to go at the minute. There's a couple, we're hoping, it's all not out yet, but we're hoping to get a couple more on the next trilogy as well, so it won't just be me, Adam and Liam. There should be a few more of our team fighting on the trilogy, and everyone. The level in the gym at the minute is scary, to be honest. So you have to keep an eye out for a few new names coming. They're not new to us. I've been training with them for years. I know how good they are, but they might be new to Cage Warriors on the next trilogy. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, everyone's looking sharp. Liam's looking phenomenal as always. Adam's looking sharp. He had to deal with a few injuries over the last year, but now he's fresh, 100%, ready to get back in there and get back in the win column. I'm feeling better than ever for my fight. So yeah, the gym's a really, really good atmosphere at the minute, and everyone's thriving at the moment. So it's going to be a good weekend of fights at the end of September and the start of October.
Totally looking forward to it. Since last time we spoke, Next Gen's gained another world champion. How did that affect the Aurora in the gym? Did that add an extra level of buzz after Matt got the title?
Yeah, 100%. I always say this, and I just said it in the last interview I done then, but you ever seen Dodgeball?
Mm-hmm.
So you know when White Goodman beds when he goes, there's a good energy in the gym. Like I always joke around, and whenever I get asked how the gym's like at the minute, I always say that quote. But no one seems to get it, so I've had to start explaining myself now before I say it. But it genuinely is like a good atmosphere in the gym at the minute. Ever since even the last Cage Warriors, we all had boss performances. Obviously, I went and beat Brian. Adam Cullen smashed his fight, and Matt Bonner won the world title. So it was the fourth world title in Next Gen. So yeah, everyone's flying at the minute. We're all in, pushing each other every day. And this trilogy, I'll be bringing back the 5th Cage Warriors title. So that'll be 5 world titles in Next Gen after the trilogy. And that is the most out of any gym on Cage Warriors. So that's another accolade that Next Gen will have after this one.
Well, all respect to your teammates, but let's get on to your fight. Dominick Woodin. What can we expect, first of all?
From me, you can expect the same as always. High pace, heavy pressure, a grappling dominant performance, probably a rear naked choke as well, somewhere in there.
The Southport Strangler.
The Southport Strangler, that's the one. I've not heard that in a while. I'm trying to chip that nickname, mate. But yeah, we'll see. It'll probably come back after this one again, won't it? So, but yeah. I'm excited. I'm ready to get in there now. I feel boss. I feel sharp. My weight's low. I feel in great condition. So I'm just waiting to get in the cage now, to be honest. Got a couple more weeks of training just to fine-tune some things specifically for Dominick. But I know every fighter will say this, but I've never felt better mentally, physically, everything. Spiritually, I just feel like it's my time now and I'm ready to go and get another win and another finish and my first pro title.
100%. Obviously, I feel like I've got to bring it up. When I spoke to Dominick Woodin, I mentioned this fight. I said the vacant title against yourself at Cage Warriors, and it looks like it's happening. So I'm just going to say Graham Boylan, matchmakers right here. But
that's it, lad. You spoke it into existence, so it's all thanks to you.
100%. What I know you're not going to want to give your game plan away as such, but is there anything that you're willing to say that you're expecting from Dominick?
Well, it's pretty obvious to see what Dominic wants to do. He's a tricky southpaw striker, and he's got a bit of power in his hand, so he's going to be coming to try and knock me out, isn't he? So obviously, I'm going to avoid that. Hit him with some big shots, put him on his back, and submit him. That's my game plan. It's not like I'm giving anything away there. Everyone knows what I'm going to try and do to him. He knows what I'm going to try and do to him, and I know what he's going to try and do to me. In terms of like specific details, I won't say too much, but I'm coming in ready for a fight. Do you know what I mean? I'm fitter than ever. I'm ready to put a pace on him, bite down on my gum shield and get in his face and make it a scrap. So hope he's ready to do the same thing.
100%. How long have you known about this fight, specifically Dominick Wooden?
It's not been that long, to be honest. Like, they only announced it the other day. I probably knew that I was fighting Dom for definite about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Because before that, I thought I'd be fighting Jack Cartwright. Do you know what I mean? Because he was the champ at my weight class. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I just, from Cage Warriors, we weren't really hearing much back until about 4 or 5 weeks ago. They said, Jack Cartwright is vacating the belt. You're fighting for the vacant title against Dominick Wooden. I said, okay, that's fine by me. As long as I'm fighting for the title, that's all I care about. So I think Cartwright is, I don't know, I think he's fought out his contract and just didn't want to re-sign. I don't know his reasons for that. I don't know if he's gone on to the UFC. I haven't heard anything. So, but I'm just focused on Dominick Wooden now. So that's all it's...
After your last fight when you were saying, give me the belt, looking back now, would you have preferred Jack Cartwright, or is Dominick Wooden just someone that you're just going to take out? Would it have been the same result either way?
Yeah, definitely the same result either way. I don't really care who I'm fighting, as long as I'm fighting for the belt. I'm not thinking at all about Jack Cartwright now. I'm fighting Dominick Wooden, aren't I? So he's all I'm asked about at the minute. But to be honest with you, I say this all the time, like, the opponent doesn't matter too much to me. I think it's you against you in there. And obviously you've got to prepare specifically for each opponent, but I don't look too much into that. I just focus on myself and bettering myself all around as a man and as a fighter. And I think when I go in there, the best version of me, I can beat anyone in the world on that night. So I don't really care who you put in front of me.
100%. I've been saying it for a while now. After, I think the first time I interviewed you was it's been a while now. I think it was over a year ago, and I've been.
It was about a year and a half ago. I think it was after the Sagas fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe it was during the first lockdown. I've been ranting and raving how you're going to be in the UFC one day, and do you think it's going to be after this fight, or do you think you're going to need a defense? Because I think a top performance against Dom, it could get you the signing.
Yeah, I don't really know, to be honest. It's not up to me to decide that. I just focus on the fights. But if the UFC did come knocking after this fight, I'd 100% take it. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I'm ready now to get in there and compete at that level. But I'm in no rush either to pass on from Cage Warriors. I love fighting on Cage Warriors. It's a great promotion. I've been able to develop myself and my career on Cage Warriors. So if I need 1 or 2 more after this, defend the belt, I'm very happy to do that. I'm not even looking, to be honest, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just thinking about getting the belt. That's a major life goal of mine. It's always been a milestone that I've wanted to tick off. So the only thing consuming my mind at the minute is beating Dominick Wooden on the 30th September and winning that belt. And then after that, I can start thinking about the UFC and other things. But right now, Cage Warriors Gold, that's all that's on my mind.
100%. I wanted to ask, obviously, this is the first time in a while that you've fought in front of fans. Fans are going to be there. How does it feel to be given the opportunity to potentially win the belt in front of your friends and family?
I am very happy timing-wise. See, it's all worked out well because last September I missed the trilogy, right? So then I had to fight on the December one, March, June, and now if I'd have fought on that September, or maybe I'd have got my title shot in June and I would have been fighting in an empty arena for the belt. And I'm a lot happier that I get to go and fight for the title in front of all my friends and family. It's a shame it's in London and it's on a Thursday night, so not as many people could have come as I would have liked. But I still reckon I'll have a really good support group coming down. I reckon I'll probably have about 60 or 70 people coming to watch me. And for a Thursday night in London, that's pretty good, do you know what I mean? So I'll take that. And considering I live in Southport, so it's a far journey for all my mates to come and all my family to come down and watch. I'm going to have to get hotels and stuff and train tickets. So it's an expensive ordeal for all of them. But I've got a boss support system and they're all going to be there cheering me on. And it's just going to make it that much better when I win the belt.
100%. I can't remember which time it was when we spoke, but I remember you said you took around 110, I think. Was it Manchester?
Yeah.
So, and that was what I'm guessing, was that a Saturday night?
That was a Saturday night, yeah. So even since then, my support's grown because obviously
Yeah.
I've had a few more fights, so I've got a little bit more of a not following, but a few more people interested in coming and watching me fight. So the fact that I'm even able to take like 60 or 70 heads down to London, like I made up with that on a Thursday night. I reckon if you do a show close to home anytime soon, Liverpool or Manchester, I'll be doing over 200 tickets this time easily. So that's the sort of support that I've got right now, and I'm made up, and it spurs me on to want to do all those people proud and go and win the belt for them and bring it back home with me to Southport. So I just can't wait to get in there now and fight for it.
100%. I'm always interested to ask, who would you say is your one biggest supporter out of everyone?
I don't know if I've got one, to be honest. I've got a very good close circle of friends. My girlfriend, my mum and dad are obviously my main supporters as well. My girlfriend's mum and dad, they love coming to watch me fight and stuff like that. They support me. So I've just got a really good circle of support. I wouldn't say one specific person. My brothers, my older brother George, Harvey, my little sister Ruby, they all support me as well. So I've just got there's too many to pick from, to be honest. I feel sly not naming certain people, but yeah. Got a great support system behind me, so it helps a lot.
100%. I wanted to ask, during the Bowling fight, in the change room and leading up, did you feel any pressure at all? No, because I think quite a few people sensed if you win this fight, it's going to be a title shot. Did you feel any pressure before the fight?
Yeah, a little bit of pressure, but I like feeling that pressure. That's why I do this. Do you know what I mean? Like every time I'm there in the changing rooms, I tell myself, this is a crazy feeling right now. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of pressure on my shoulders, a lot of people counting on me, wanting me to do well, and I put a lot of pressure on myself. But ultimately, every fight and every time I overcome that pressure, that makes me grow as a man. And that's why I do this. Do you know what I mean? I love that competitive feeling of being there, stood waiting to walk out and fight another man. I know exactly that he's feeling the exact same things as me. We're both nervous, our hearts are racing, it's all the adrenaline's kicking in, and we're ready to go and lay it all on the line. That's what I live for, those moments. You know what I mean? That's when I feel most alive. So it is pressure, but it's enjoyable pressure as well at the same time. And I've just got to tell myself that every time I'm in there, it's like, don't let this get to you now, because this is what you want to do. I've chose to be here. Do you know what I mean? So, but there's no feeling like it, and I love it, and I thrive in those situations.
Definitely. Just a couple more things. Can we get a final prediction for how the fight on 30th of September is going to go down?
I don't know any specifics, to be honest, mate, but I'm going to finish him and win the belt. That is my prediction, 100%. Within the 5 rounds, he's getting finished, probably earlier on than later on as well. I'm going to be winning the Cage Warriors Bantamweight title.
Have you got any shout-outs to the sponsors you'd like to sign off with?
Yeah, I've actually done really well this camp for new sponsors. So I've had a few new people come on board, so I'll try and remember them all now and list everyone off. So the sponsors I've had literally since day one, Finer Filters, they've been looking after me for ages. I've got Jack Harper, who again does so much for me, and without him, I wouldn't be able to be training full time as well. I've got Macro Chef, which does all my meals in and out of camp now. They just sponsor me year round, so they're so helpful. And Boss Meals. I've got Strop and Bristle, which is my barber. I've got a few new ones now, so I'm trying to remember the names. I've got Lucky Bar 13, which have come on board, sponsor me again this camp, so thanks to them. I've had the Hippie Designs, which is a small local business from Southport. I've had Ivy Dog, Working Dogs. They've come on board to sponsor me. And Cleanse, which is a shoe cleaning business. So they clean all like luxury shoes. If you've got any nice like Dior or whatever, Gucci shoes or any of that Valentino, they do like proper shoe cleaning services. So shout out to them as well. And then obviously Fight Right, who do my fight walkout kit for me and my fight shorts, stuff like that. So they're the main sponsors for this one. I hope I haven't missed anyone out. I'll be gutted if I go back and check that and see that I have. But I've done really well for sponsorships over the last few years, and especially this camp, I've done really well with it being a title fight. So I'm very appreciative of all them supporting me, because without them, I wouldn't be able to fund training and all the costs that go into a fight camp, getting your medicals done, paying for training sessions, paying for petrol to get to the gym, stuff like that. One of my sponsors sorted me out with a car for this camp. Do you know what I mean? So you can't get much more than that. So I'm very thankful for all my sponsors.
Definitely. Well, Nathan, it's been a pleasure, and I hope next time I see you, it's in person in Next Gen with that belt wrapped around your waist.
It will be, lad. I can guarantee it. Don't
Appreciate
worry.
it, Nathan. Take care.